Why do Chihuahuas act like tiny dramatic actors? One moment they're calm and adorable, and the next moment they're barking at something invisible, shaking like a leaf, or staring at you as if the entire world has betrayed them. If you've ever owned a Chihuahua, you probably know exactly what I mean. These little dogs may be one of the smallest breeds in the world, but their reactions are often bigger than dogs 10 times their size. But here's the interesting part. This behavior isn't random. Behind all that barking, shaking, and dramatic personality, there is actually a real psychological explanation. And once you understand how a Chihuahua's mind works, a lot of their strange little moments suddenly start to make sense. Chihuahuas are famous for having huge personalities packed into very tiny bodies. They bark fearlessly at dogs much bigger than them. They follow their owners everywhere like a tiny shadow, and they often react to the smallest things as if it's the most important event of the day. To many people, this behavior can look funny, confusing, or even a little bit dramatic. But the truth is, Chihuahuas are actually a very fascinating breed when it comes to behavior and psychology. Their small size, strong emotional bonds with their owners, and highly sensitive nervous systems all play a role in shaping the way they react to the world around them. In this video, we're going to explore the psychology behind some of the most common Chihuahua behaviors, why they bark so much, why they shake, why they become so attached to their humans, and why these tiny dogs often behave as if they are the boss of the entire house. By the end of the video, you might start seeing your Chihuahua in a completely different way. To understand why Chihuahuas react so strongly to everything around them, we first need to look at something very basic, their size. Chihuahuas are one of the smallest dog breeds in the world, and for small animals, survival often depends on being extremely alert. In the wild, animals that are small and vulnerable cannot rely on strength to protect themselves. Instead, they rely on awareness. Their brains are constantly scanning their surroundings for movement, unfamiliar sounds, or anything that might signal danger. Reacting quickly can mean the difference between safety and becoming a target. Even though most Chihuahuas today live comfortable lives in safe homes, these instincts are still part of their biology. Their brains are naturally wired to be more reactive and more cautious than larger breeds. This is why you might see a Chihuahua suddenly barking at something that seems completely harmless, like a bag moving in the wind or a strange noise from another room. From a human perspective, it may look unnecessary, but from the Chihuahua's perspective, their brain is simply responding to something unfamiliar. In other words, when a Chihuahua reacts quickly or loudly, it is often just their natural survival instinct doing exactly what it was designed to do. Another important part of Chihuahua psychology is the extremely strong bond they form with their owners. While many dogs are affectionate, Chihuahuas are especially known for developing deep attachments to one particular person. In many cases, a Chihuahua will choose a single human as their favorite and become closely connected to that individual. This behavior is partly related to pack instincts that come from their ancestors. Dogs naturally feel safer when they stay close to trusted members of their group. For a Chihuahua, their owner often becomes the center of that sense of security. Being near their human means safety, comfort, and stability. This is why many Chihuahuas follow their owners from room to room and seem to always want to stay nearby. This strong attachment also explains why Chihuahuas can become very excited when their owner returns home, even if the separation was only a short time. To them, that reunion is a significant emotional moment. Because of this deep bond, Chihuahuas often show very expressive behavior toward their favorite person, which can include excitement, attention-seeking actions, or dramatic reactions whenever they feel ignored or separated. One behavior that many Chihuahua owners notice very quickly is shaking. Sometimes they tremble while sitting still, sometimes when they are excited, and sometimes for what appears to be no clear reason at all. While this can look unusual, it is actually connected to the Chihuahua's highly sensitive nervous system. Compared to many larger breeds, Chihuahuas tend to react more strongly to emotional and environmental changes. Their bodies respond quickly to excitement, anticipation, stress, or even sudden happiness. Because their nervous system is more reactive, these emotional shifts can show up physically in the form of trembling or shaking. For example, a Chihuahua may start shaking when they see food, when they hear their owner coming home, or when they are about to go outside. Another factor is their body size. Because they are very small, Chihuahuas lose body heat faster than larger dogs. This means they can also shake when they feel slightly cold. So while shaking can sometimes indicate nervousness, it is often just a natural physical response to excitement, temperature, or strong emotion. In many cases, it is just another way their sensitive bodies express what they are feeling. Another interesting trait that many people notice about Chihuahuas is their surprising confidence. Despite being extremely small, many Chihuahuas behave as if they are much bigger than they actually are. It is not uncommon to see a Chihuahua barking at dogs several times their size, guarding their space, or standing their ground with a bold attitude. From a human perspective, this behavior can look almost unbelievable.
However, this confidence is actually a strategy that many small animals develop. When an animal cannot rely on physical strength, projecting confidence can sometimes discourage potential threats. Acting fearless may help them appear less vulnerable. Over time, this behavior has become a recognizable personality trait of many small dog breeds, sometimes referred to as small dog syndrome. While the term is often used humorously, it reflects the idea that small dogs can develop strong personalities to compensate for their size. In the case of Chihuahuas, this bold attitude often combines with their natural alertness and strong attachment to their owners. The result is a tiny dog that may behave as if it is protecting the entire house, even when facing animals much larger than itself. Another fascinating aspect of Chihuahua behavior is their emotional sensitivity. Many owners notice that Chihuahuas seem unusually expressive compared to other breeds. They react strongly to attention, they quickly notice changes in their owner's mood, and they often display behaviors that appear almost theatrical. This is partly because Chihuahuas are very observant animals. Over time, they learn to read human reactions and adjust their behavior accordingly. If a certain action consistently brings attention, affection, or food, the dog quickly learns to repeat that behavior. For example, a Chihuahua may learn that making a sad expression, tilting its head, or quietly sitting next to its owner often results in attention. In the same way, dramatic reactions like barking or exaggerated excitement can sometimes develop because they reliably produce a response from the people around them. This does not mean the dog is consciously trying to manipulate anyone. Instead, it shows how intelligent and socially aware dogs can be. Through everyday interactions, they learn which behaviors get the strongest reactions from their environment. Because Chihuahuas are naturally expressive and highly attached to their owners, these learned behaviors can sometimes look very dramatic, but in reality, they are simply the result of a dog that is very tuned in to the people around it.
One reason Chihuahuas are so entertaining to watch is that their behavior often feels surprisingly human. Many owners say their Chihuahua looks like it has real facial expressions, almost as if the dog is reacting emotionally to everything happening around it. This feeling actually comes from how expressive small companion breeds tend to be. Chihuahuas evolved alongside humans for a very long time, and over generations, they became extremely sensitive to human attention, voice, and body language. Because of this close relationship with people, Chihuahuas are very good at displaying emotions in ways that humans easily recognize. When they are excited, they may jump, shake, or run in circles. When they want attention, they may stare directly at their owner, tilt their head, or sit quietly nearby. When they are unhappy, they may turn away, pout, or act dramatically. These expressive behaviors make it easier for humans to interpret what the dog might be feeling, and the more humans react to those expressions, the more the dog learns to use them. Over time, this creates a kind of communication system between the dog and the owner. The Chihuahua learns how to express itself in ways that get attention, while the human becomes better at recognizing the dog's emotional signals. This is one of the reasons why Chihuahua owners often feel such a strong connection with their dogs. Their behavior can feel almost like a conversation, not through words, but through personality, emotion, and expression. And when you combine that expressive communication with their bold attitude, strong attachment, and sensitive emotions, you get something quite special. A tiny dog with a personality that feels much larger than life.
When you look at all of these factors together, Chihuahua behavior begins to make much more sense. Their small size encourages strong survival instincts, their personalities develop around deep emotional bonds with their owners, and their sensitive nervous systems cause them to react strongly to many different situations. What might appear dramatic on the surface is actually the result of a combination of natural instincts, emotional attachment, and learned behavior. In many ways, Chihuahuas simply express their feelings more openly than many other breeds. That combination is exactly what makes them so unique. A tiny body paired with a very big personality creates a dog that can be brave, loyal, expressive, and sometimes a little dramatic all at the same time. And for many Chihuahua owners, that big personality is precisely what makes these small dogs so memorable and so loved.